Welcome to a new episode of the Salesforce Spotlight podcast. Today we dive into the world of global health and digital transformation with Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance.
Gavi helps immunize millions of children every year and is now reimagining how grants are managed and how partners are supported with AI and agentic systems.
Our guest is the amazing Adina, head of digital transformation at Gavi, leading this ambitious journey.
We will explore the vision behind Gavi's new Salesforce-powered grants management platform, the role of AI agents, and the leadership lessons from driving change at global scale. Adina, welcome to the podcast.
I'm excited to be here.
Thank you for coming.
Talk to us more about Gavi. What is Gavi exactly all about?
Well, let me think about how do I explain Gavi for non-profit organizations, but for profit organizations as well, to be understood. We're really playing in the health global space. We're looking at vaccinating children around the world, but also we're looking at strengthening the health system globally, really for them to be sustainable on their own. Our customers are our countries. That's how we see them. Our products is really the global health. That's how I would sum it up.
So where does digital transformation come into all of this and into the context of that global health organization?
I would say it's a game changer, but also a must. It's not a choice anymore. We're facing the geopolitical constraints like everybody else. You have to be this link between the mission and the technology. And digital transformation is really just making it happen. That's how I would put it.
And Adina, Gavi recently went live with its grant management solution. That was the vision behind this transformation. What was the vision behind this?
I would say we targeted simplicity for sure, but we also targeted a lot of transparency and agility. We just have to move faster and be more agile and nimble in the face of challenges related to, I would say, our countries are having bandwidth issues. So how do you get in front of that? And also just simply, how do you remove the friction between, collaboration, but just moving paper around or finding emails? It's really what I would say for us was a game changer as well, the fact that we really, really just wanted to start small, pilot it, and then scale up. And I think the fact that we stood focused on that and we didn't change the approach is really what we wanted to achieve and what we have achieved, I would say.
I love how you started with an issue, going, this is where we have issues. This is where our resources are not optimally used. This is where we have potential. This is where we need to transform. So it's not, everyone's transforming digitally, but here's where we need to get better. Here's where we want to get better. So let's tackle these issues step by step. So that's how you approached everything.
It's being pragmatic, as you said, yes.
Yeah.
We have to know what to solve for and having clear objectives and goals, but also being very clear that we have to use the cutting-edge technologies that are out there. We can't just ignore it because it's out there, but I would say still be afraid of taking the step. And we have to think about how do you move about talking about AI to actually running AI. So that's what we've done.
And can you already see what changed already with the new platform? Do you see already some highlights, some successes?
I would say the big stories are yet to come because we were recently that we went live, but definitely you start seeing these reactions of, oh, wow, this looks overly simplified. I didn't think it's going to be so easy for us to go and ask for a grant. Internally in Gavi as well, you could almost see our colleagues saying, oh, but this is so much easier to find everything in one place. So you definitely start hearing the confirmation for sure from our customers internally, but also externally. We're looking for the big big transformations as well to come in terms of the mission impact, that we're going to see faster disbursements that we do to our countries. I think it's early days. We're being pragmatic.
And how the new solution improved the collaboration, as you said, with the different countries and partners?
It's, I would say for sure it has removed from the focus from how do I submit something, how do I know where my status is, how do I know where my grants are. Now they are more focused on what do I need from a grant. It's really moved the conversation to what really matters in the interactions. And for sure as well, I would say it removed the friction around, I have to wait for you to give me the information. Now it's just there, it's available. And you can see the decision-making happens way much faster in between us and the partners, but also the countries. You really see a difference there immediately.
So the pain points are gone, you're getting positive feedback, and you're talking about what you need to talk about and spending time and effort on what really matters. That's what you're saying there.
And this is really what we wanted, just from the beginning, right?
And now the question, how Salesforce supports Gavi in this journey?
Look, we thought about adopting Salesforce quite a while ago, but the game changer was when we started to look at nonprofit cloud, which is really tailor-made for nonprofit organizations, but also to the fact that now everything resides into one platform. We have the incoming funds from the donors, we have the outgoing funds to the partners and to the countries. It's really all in one place, and this is what Salesforce offers, really. And then obviously you look at the next layer that sits on top of the nonprofit cloud, agentic, the Salesforce, right, Agentforce. The data resides there. You don't have to invest too much in data science, huge data teams. So that's really what I would say the biggest support is that we get from Salesforce.
So Salesforce having a solution that is oriented at not-for-profits. When you spoke about agentic AI, have you already started to build agents? If yes, how is that going? Talk to us more about that, please.
We did. The first one is live. We're using it. Think about it as we work with countries around the globe, different languages, right? Sometimes can be quite a barrier in faster collaboration. So they submit their documents to us in their language. The agent is translating it for us.
Fantastic.
In real time. You cannot really measure and cannot express a lot in words how this has changed around the uncertainty. Did I really get it right? Did I translate it right myself?
Oh, misunderstandings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That really causes confusion and a lot of unnecessary effort. So this is the first one, but we're now piloting a lot, I would say that is in the works. One is a country companion to help them reach faster to us, understand our policies, our guidelines, and then obviously we're looking at the Agentforce as well, summarizing for us. Look, it's really a game changer as well because it's low code to no code. We are not starting from scratch to develop this. It's really enabling us to move faster and to really see the benefits like in weeks. We're not talking here about implementations that take months, years, and so on. It's just happening so fast, and the internal effort as well is much lower. You can really see it.
How will that transformation continue? I mean, you sound excited because you see the benefits, the countries, the different stakeholders are happy. Where is there even further potential for that transformation?
I would say definitely now we're going to have to see how do we bring this more, like I said, in front of the customers, the countries, and the partners. How do we give this as a tool for them? We're using it internally, like I said, for the translations, but now moving from the country companion and then moving to the partners for them to have this use of the Agentforce, or the agents that come with it. But it's really also making use of the data that resides on the same platform. It's I would say, a huge potential that we haven't fully explored and capitalized on. But that's really what we have to look on next.
And the beauty of it is that you are able to translate in almost every language that you are operating, right?
Yes.
So this is good for you and also for the partner, or the donors, or the other
definitely
partner that are working with Gavi, right? So
it's definitely, and they were amazed and excited at the same time because we didn't come back to them to ask any questions anymore. We're just doing it now. There's no more back and forth and help me clarify this.
It's
there.
smooth, it
Yes.
works, and I guess people are happy and you're getting positive feedbacks because all that friction is gone.
It's definitely, and you can see it as well in the way they collaborate, in the way our teams are much more motivated, really, to do the work. So definitely, yes.
But I mean, it is it's a complex global ecosystem, and that transformation cannot be a really easy process. How do you tackle that? How do you and Salesforce together go about that?
I would say we didn't reinvent the wheel in many ways, but I think what really, really was a game changer for us was that we started with pilots. Some of them successful, some not, but we learned and fell fast and moved on. We worked in iterations as well. We didn't tackle anything big that would take us years for us to address. And the other thing is, I would say it sounds simple, but do not let perfect get in the way of progress. Really just know that you can improve. You can iterate and move ahead and improve. And I would say the other game changer was the leadership support. We have support right from the top, from our CEO, and that really as well set the right tone for the organization, the right importance for this transformation. This was one of the success factors for sure in what we have done.
And what is your recommendation for other NGOs that are exploring, this opportunity for themselves as well? So what does it take to scale digital transformation across such a complex global system?
Do not think of it as just technology, because usually the challenge is in the people, like I said. So keep it small, keep it simple, keep the interactions with them as close as possible and as often as possible. But also, I wouldn't dismiss the importance of having an end-to-end platform that really gives you a lot of out-of-the-box products, because then you invest less in development, in building on yourself. So change management for sure, and then the right technology, the combination of the two, that's I would say is the recipe.
When thinking of change management, I always think of leadership, because this is one of the most complex leadership challenges if we're talking about change management. What is your advice to leaders within your organization, but also in other organizations that are undergoing such change and transformation?
I would say the same that we had. Just make sure that your support comes from the top and you have their buy-in in this journey. And it's a long-term commitment, because these iterations that you're making, it's really a long journey. They're not happening overnight. They're not going to stop very soon. And then secondly, you do have to think that you have to adjust. What you might have started with as your initial goal, you just have to keep on refining it as you get closer to understanding how technology and the mission go together. You just have to be aware, you have to continuously adjust.
You said before, fail fast. And I saw Vanessa smile going, yes, that's what we need to do, because that's how we learn, that's how we innovate, that's how we co-create. That takes a mindset shift in many organizations. How did you create that mindset? What was the mindset of the different country organizations? It's different cultures that come together. How did you tackle that mindset shift, and how are you going to keep tackling it? Because that's not a one-off thing.
I would say the same with just making sure that you prove it. Is really you start with a pilot, and if it fails, you say then, you see, if we would have gone big, we would have lost a lot of time. This is now the time for us to pivot to something else, and the pivoting from something small, it's much, much easier to be achieved than if you start a huge journey from the beginning.
I agree.
And it's a lot of, I would say, showing it as you go, and continuously keeping the partners, the donors, the countries with you in this showing it, and continuously do not lose the connection with them. And even with our own employees, it's important for them to know what we're doing, what we're testing, what we're experimenting with, and being able to show a prototype, what we call the rapid prototyping, it really puts the words into visuals, and it makes a huge difference as well.
So it's the tangibilities that people can grasp what is happening, what it means for them, and what this thing that they're eventually going to get rather sooner than later, what that is going to look like.
It is, and that's why I said I love Salesforce platform and the agents in there, because I don't have to invest months and months in there. I can show something fast. Whatever you develop, it takes months to do it. If you don't have to start from scratch and you have to show something fast, this is when they believe it, because there's not a lot of time for them of waiting as well, and any customer, right?
And it's about creating trust at the end, right? The
Yes.
trust from the organization, the trust from the employees, that is really work. And I think the more you go through this transformation, the more you can show the way, and you can talk, and you can, prove that that it's going the right direction, and you are having and extracting the right results. This is where you build trust within the organization, the employees, and after trust, that follows the mindset change, right?
It's true, and showing them a prototype and then engaging them in refining it further, like you say, is the trust, but you also make them part of it, right? They own it together with you. So they would definitely become your ambassadors going forward, and they get excited about it. It's there, right? They've helped doing it, right? So it's part of the change management. It helps you if you drag them into the process, but then it only takes one time to do it, because then they are there with you all along the way.
And building trust, I'm just still evolving around the trust question. You're in a global organization. It's different languages, it's different cultures, different mindsets that are coming together. So building trust is, per se, a very, very complex venture that you've got. At the same time, you're a not-for-profit organization. How does that component come into play here as compared to a commercial organization?
Definitely having a common mission helps. You are there to help the countries. The partners are there to help the countries as well, right? So working together towards a common goal, a common mission, it does go along. That does go along. It really goes a long way. It's probably one of the things that make it easier to achieve the trust, for sure. But like I said, we have to think about the fact that they do see it happening, and they feel themselves the benefits. They want to do it with you because they understand that all of a sudden, for them to be able to vaccinate the children faster, it's achieving their own mission as well, because that's our common objective, right? So I think being in a nonprofit that has a mission that is directly oriented to the same objectives of a Ministry of Health in countries, it's really, it's making it easier, pragmatic, but easier for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. The mission is strong enough to make everybody move in the right and the same direction. So Adina, with that, I say thank you so much for being our guest today. Thank you for sharing your journey with Gavi and how you are going through this transformation with Salesforce. I wish you a lot of success, and for us all the best, and looking forward to follow your journey.
Thank you for having me here. It's been a pleasure.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much, Adina. And Adina's story actually shows how working together, collaborating across cultures, across languages, doesn't have to be barriers, but can actually create wonderful opportunities for all of us.
Stay tuned for more stories of innovation and impact, and feel free to share this episode someone who cares about the future of global health. Until next time.
Take care.